What I want to say is, through growing up, what I've discovered is that this world is a very vast, very wonderful and beautiful one, and there are so many things to discover, but the most important journey I think all of us will go through is the journey in ourselves.
Hi everyone, today I'm going to be speaking from the book of Ruth, and it's been many days that I have been praying and asking the Lord, are you sure you want me to speak on this? And so here I am. As a fiction writer, I really love this story. I like the narrative, and if you read it, you will see that Naomi and her husband Elimelech, along with their two sons, have gone to a foreign land during a famine time. And as they settle there in a foreign land, Naomi loses her husband, and over a period of time, she loses her sons as well. And so finally, Naomi is left with only two daughters-in-law. She hears that the Lord has been kind to his people and that he had been providing for them. So she starts towards the road to Judah, and along with her two daughters-in-law. And as she starts her journey, she tells her daughters-in-law to go back to their mother's place. Both her daughters-in-law want to go with her. Naomi has turned so bitter that she says, I'm left with nothing and I can offer you all nothing. And she has every negative thing to say about herself to her daughters-in-law to convince them to go back. Now one daughter-in-law goes back, but there is Ruth, the other daughter-in-law. And Ruth is so determined to go along with Naomi. And Ruth almost pleads with her, saying, please, I want to be with you. I don't want to go back to my mother's house. Finally, Naomi agrees. Ruth decides to go and pick up some leftover grain. She starts picking up bits. But remember, she is determined to change her life, even when so much has gone wrong, because she can see something good is about to happen. Naomi had gone totally away from her land in a foreign country where there was no presence of God. And now she's back to her country after losing everything, where the Lord's presence is, and Ruth is along with her. As Ruth goes to pick up the leftovers, she starts with very little. And the owner of the field, whose name is Boaz, Naomi's relative, notices her. She already finds favor in his eyes. And Boaz tells his men, his workers, to be nice to Ruth and to give her extra. He says, you can even pluck some from the field, from the harvest, and keep it for her to pick up. Boaz also realizes that she's Naomi's daughter-in-law. When Naomi hears that Boaz, her relative, the owner of the field, has shown favor towards Ruth, Naomi teaches her how to please this man. And as she follows Naomi's instructions and goes there to the field and pleases Boaz, Boaz wants to do something for Naomi and Ruth. And he says, I will do something, but before me there is another relative. Boaz gathers about 10 elders, and he calls this relative the one who stands the first chance to redeem as in purchase the rights for Naomi's property, along with gaining possession over Ruth, which is to marry her. This relative, he does not want to do it. According to Jewish culture, when there is a deal like this, the person who does not want to redeem takes off his sandals. And so this relative takes off his sandals. This signifies that Boaz is free to redeem Naomi's property along with her daughter-in-law Ruth. So Boaz redeems Naomi's property and marries Ruth. Ruth is no more a gleaner, but she becomes the partaker of the harvest along with the owner of the field, which is Boaz. And Naomi's joy is restored. In the Gospel of John, John the Baptist says, before me there is another one whose sandals I am not worthy to untie. And I was reading the Gospel of John. This is what I was thinking. Probably this is the tradition that John the Baptist is talking about, that Jesus is the kind of relative who I cannot convince to take off his sandal, who will not surrender the rights to redeem his people. He is that relative who is so secure about what he wants to do for us. John the Baptist says, "Behold the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world." As in, he's trying to say, this is your kinsman redeemer. The one that I'm pointing out to, the Lamb of God, is your kinsman redeemer. He is that relative who's going to redeem you by his blood. He redeemed us. What is redeem? Redeem is gaining or regaining possession of a property or someone or something by paying a price. So what is the price that Jesus paid? He paid the price of his precious blood and purchased us. So this is what the kinsman redeemer does. When you are coming under his property, nobody will attack you. And this is what the Lord does to us as he redeems us. And as we come under his lordship, he rebukes every attacker, every lack, every curse, every sickness. And this is what God is showing us, that this is how we're going to go back into his presence. No matter how much we have lost behind, we are going to go to a place where his presence is, with divine collaboration. And we're going to see, despite the loss, despite what has gone wrong, despite the mistakes, despite the things that have taken place, which are negative and bitter, God is going to bring about something great, something new through a divine collaboration. Years back, when I was going to a hospital, it was a huge hospital, it was almost like a big city, and this was at a time when I had stopped working. So for a long time I was at home, and when I went to this place, this hospital, it was like a big city. We used to have 2 or 3 women getting together and going to this hospital, teaching the nursing students Bible verses, scriptures, and encouraging them, praying with them. One day there was no one, I was all alone. It was my turn, and as I went there, this was a place, it was winter time and it was getting dark outside, and it was like a deserted place. As I was going, and you have to go through a climb, and I was asking the Lord, what am I doing here? This is not even my place. I'm a stranger here. This was after I came back from Dubai, and I was new to this place, and I didn't know how to go to places properly. And I was asking the Lord, what am I doing here? Why am I not in a place where I am familiar, in a familiar surrounding, among familiar people? What am I doing here? Why have you brought me to this land? And very soon, one of the supervisors in our group, the teaching group, a lady, she asked me, Sophie, can you write a skit for the nursing students? It was Christmas time, for Christmas. And she had no idea that I love writing. I agreed, and we put up a skit, and it was a lot of fun. Everyone enjoyed it. And Christmas time, I even had to spend from my pocket, and I was still wondering, what am I doing here? But it was real fun. All the students were blessed. Soon after that, I put up another play which was open to the public, and I named it The Kinsman Redeemer. A lot of people who had never even read the Bible came for the play, and they really enjoyed. Some of them who had grown-up children were so impressed about the play, the story. They thought the Bible is all about, holiness and rules and everything. They didn't know it was so much of fun. And they said, what a great portrayal of mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. What a great teaching that is. And everyone enjoyed the play. After that, I kept writing plays and skits and blogs and the book. Everything followed that little skit that I wrote at the hospital for the nursing students. But before that was the question, Lord, what am I doing here? This is not even my place. These are not even my people. Why am I here in this unfamiliar surrounding? If this video has touched you and blessed you in any way, do like, share, and also subscribe. God bless you.